Have you ever watched someone do something incredible and thought, I wish I could do that? Maybe it was someone strumming a guitar like it was second nature, speaking another language with ease, or mastering a skill you've always dreamed of having. It's not just about the skill itself, though, is it? It's about what it symbolizes: the confidence, the freedom, the ability to take on something new and truly make it your own. We all want to grow, to improve, to become better versions of ourselves. But life gets busy, and sometimes learning something new feels like one more thing on an already long list. You want to pick up skills that matter, something that makes a difference, that makes you proud. But the real struggle isn't choosing what to learn. It's figuring out how to actually do it. At first, it feels exciting, full of possibilities. But the moment you start, reality sets in. It's harder than you thought. You watch tutorials, read books, take notes, and still feel stuck. Nothing seems to click. And then the doubt creeps in. Maybe I'm just not good at this. Sound familiar? You're not alone. Learning something new is a journey, and it's okay to feel frustrated at the beginning. What matters is how you move forward. 1. The problem with learning. The truth is, most of us aren't great at learning efficiently, and it's not really our fault. It's because of how we've been taught to learn. Traditionally, we're taught to first acquire knowledge and then apply it later. But here's the issue. Without applying what we've learned, the knowledge doesn't stick. Unfortunately, our early education systems rarely provided opportunities for practical application, leaving us stuck in a cycle of passive learning, learning by absorbing. That's why memorization isn't true learning. Learning is about understanding, applying, and retaining information until it becomes second nature. Think about the last time you tried to learn something or studying. What did you do? Most likely you crammed. You read books, watched tutorials, or listened to lessons. But did it stick? Probably not. Why? Because most of us focus on the aspect of reading, watching, and listening when we should be focusing on the doing, practicing, and teaching. It's like trying to learn how to ride a bike by reading a manual. You can understand the parts and the steps, but the moment you actually get on the bike, you'll probably wobble and fall. Learning is something you have to feel and experience. You need to actually try it. Here's the truth. You need to roll up your sleeves and get hands-on in order to learn something effectively. 2. The power of spaced practice. This doesn't mean you should overload your brain. Cramming might feel productive in the moment, but it's only a short-term fix. Spaced practice, on the other hand, is a proven method for long-term success. The idea is simple. You learn more effectively when you spread out your study sessions over time, ideally 15 to 20 minutes a day throughout the week if possible. Here's why. Each time you revisit a topic, your brain has to retrieve it from storage. The more often you do this, the stronger the connection becomes. Think of it like pouring water over a rocky surface. The first time, it barely makes a dent, but as you pour more and more, the water begins to carve grooves, creating a smooth, clear channel over time. What makes this even more powerful is how your daily experiences create anchors for your learning. For example, on day 1, you might treat yourself to ice cream after studying. The next day, it rains, and you spend your session indoors. These unique moments provide additional context for your memory. Later, you might think, oh, that was the day it rained, when I learned that theory. These mental associations make your memories more vivid and better organized. Instead of cramming for hours on end, break your study time into shorter 15 to 20-minute sessions spread across the week. Your brain and your sanity will thank you. 3. Teach to learn. One of the fastest ways to master something is by teaching it to someone else. It might feel strange at first. How can you teach what you're still learning? But that's the beauty of it. Teaching forces you to dive deeper, clarify your thoughts, and truly understand the material. I remember when I first started learning graphic design. It didn't stick, and honestly, I gave up on it. Then, in a workshop, I was asked to teach it. That experience opened my eyes in ways I couldn't have imagined. When you teach, you're forced to organize your thoughts and explain concepts clearly. This not only deepens your understanding, but also reveals any gaps in your knowledge. If your students ask questions, it challenges you to think critically and problem solve on the spot. What if you don't have anyone to teach, or you're an introvert? Here's my advice. Set up your phone and record yourself explaining the topic. If you're comfortable, upload it to YouTube and let the comments guide your learning. If that's not your style, play pretend. Imagine you're giving a TEDx talk to a huge audience. This mindset can push you to clarify your thoughts, as if hundreds of thousands of people are watching. The best way to learn is to teach. So take the leap. You might surprise yourself with how much you grow. 4. Activate your senses. One of the best ways to deeply understand something and make it second nature is by involving multiple senses in the learning process. Your brain loves variety. The more senses you activate, the better your ability to retain information. This also ties into why spaced practice is so effective. For example, imagine you're learning how to play the guitar. Don't just read chord diagrams. Watch videos of musicians playing it, listen closely to how the chords sound, and physically practice strumming the strings. Engage with the process fully using your eyes, ears, and hands. This approach is similar to how the talented comedian Trevor Noah learned to speak multiple languages and imitate accents. He simply observed and copied what he saw and heard. It's also the same way babies learn. They watch, listen, and mimic, engaging every sense in the process. By engaging multiple senses, you create stronger neural pathways in your brain. Think of it like weaving a net. The more threads you add, the tighter and more secure it becomes. Activate your senses and you'll find that learning becomes more natural and enjoyable. 5. Master the basics and make it fun. Not everything you learn carries the same weight. The vital few rule tells us that a small portion of effort leads to the majority of results. When learning, focus on the essentials that give the biggest payoff. For instance, if you're learning to cook, start by mastering a few versatile techniques like chopping, sautéing, and boiling, instead of diving into complex recipes. Or, if you're learning to draw, focus on foundational skills like shading and proportions before tackling detailed compositions. Once you've built a strong foundation, the more advanced skills will follow naturally. To make learning enjoyable, set small, achievable goals and reward yourself when you reach them. Turn challenges into games, compete with a friend, or use progress tracking apps. These small wins release dopamine in your brain, keeping you motivated. Just be mindful of distractions. Apps can pull you off track. One moment you're learning, the next, you're scrolling social media. Minimize interruptions by silencing your phone, closing tabs, and creating a focused environment. By mastering the essentials and adding a bit of fun, you'll keep learning effective and engaging. These are some of the best ways to learn faster. Focus on the essentials, space out your practice, engage your senses, and take breaks to rest your mind. A key takeaway: sleep and recovery are just as important as effort. Your brain needs time to process and store what you've learned. If you found this video useful, consider subscribing for more tips to help you grow and improve. And let me know in the comments what kind of videos you'd like to see next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.